So with the AT&T and Warner Media Discovery deal, the Amazon and MGM acquisition, I guess you could say, which is basically what it is, seemingly fell by the wayside, at least from my perspective. But this is massive. And a recent Deadline article has actually revealed a lot more information. Talks going back as far as January, numbers, whether they're going to be doing day streaming, day theatrical releases. A lot to dive into here. And I thought we would discuss it because this, and much like the Warner Media Discovery merger, basically AT&T admitting defeat, will absolutely categorically shape the Hollywood landscape and industry moving forwards. This is massive news for Amazon. Massive, massive news. And like I said, the Warner Media Discovery deal, that was all the rage. Lots of people talking about it. This has seemingly fallen by the wayside. So we're going to dive into this today, ladies and gents. If you are new here, please do consider hitting that subscribe button if you make it all the way through to the end, because it shows that you probably enjoyed the content and the video. And also do give it a big thumbs up. To returning subscribers and also anyone just perusing the channel, I've got one thing linked down below which I think you guys might be interested in. It is my second channel. It's a car channel. I love to have my awesome community over there. I'm rebuilding a Group A rally car. That's all I'll say on that. So like I said, the recent Deadline article was very, very interesting, and I've taken some snippets from it here just to highlight some bits and pieces. And very specifically, we're talking about the fact that Deadline are saying that they're completely remaining in talks. They're not saying anything. These are from Deadline sources. So Deadline sources are like, no, they're still in talks. They are full steam ahead. And I think what is revealing about this is that they've been talking about it for a very long time. So the fact that we're only hearing about it now, and I think with it's very well timed. It's very, very well timed. So like I said, we had the AT&T Warner Media Discovery situation over on Monday, and then this drops out the same week. It's all to do with shares, stakeholders, such like that. I think that was massive news, and it was earth-shattering news, the Warner Media Discovery deal. Way bigger than most people think, quite frankly. And I think Amazon wanted in on a piece of that pie. But like it says here, you know, Amazon have been acquiring very selective and quite large properties for Amazon Prime. Coming to America, whether you liked it or disliked it, doesn't matter which side you fell on, it's still a large thing for Amazon to get a hold of. And obviously the pandemic, COVID, it offered them the opportunity to get a hold of these titles. And it's not just that. There's the Tomorrow War, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. And there's some other things from Skydance, because they are literally co-productions. It's Skydance and Paramount and Skydance co-productions. So they're quite large things that they've had a hold of, but they've gone predominantly just on Amazon. We don't know how that's going to happen, you know, move forwards now. We don't know whether they're going to then head over onto a theatrical release as well. We'll have to see, and that could be a distributor and geographical location dependent. But the interesting thing about this is sources are telling Deadline that Amazon taking a hold of MGM isn't actually going to be stopping any of the theatrical releases. Like they say quite literally here, sources tell us that the e-commerce giant's absorption of MGM won't derail theatrical releases already scheduled for this year. So that's good. Does it throw into question anything moving forwards? Probably. MGM has a huge back catalogue. They don't do an awful lot of stuff nowadays. You know, they do have some selective things here and there, but they've been in trouble for a while. It's not a huge surprise that they wanted to sell up. They were trying to get rid of No Time to Die for quite some time. But they have a huge back catalogue. So what does this mean for anything upcoming? Well, if Amazon obviously buy them, they can choose to just have Amazon exclusives. They can say, oh, this is an Amazon Prime. Prime Original. Prime Original. Just pop it on Prime. Which I think would be great. Like I actually quite like Amazon Prime. I've got it for, obviously, the deliveries and things like that. And then you get it as well. Like, that's a great deal. That's very, very good. Now, I'm obviously, you know, whether you want mega corporations to get big or anything like that, this is one of those ones that just benefits people. So it is just what it is in respect to that. Now, they say, obviously, the distribution by United Artists Releasing, that's the ones which are already going to be moving forwards, because what will happen when Amazon picks up MGM is more than likely they will have to work out new distribution deals for things moving forwards. And Amazon may become the distributor, or they'll reshuffle MGM. So MGM is the studio plus releasing partner as well. Or Amazon becomes the studio, they take things under their name, and then MGM becomes the distributor. They'll shuffle the company in a way which minimizes any damage to Amazon as, you know, as a giant, as the umbrella corporation there. But it is interesting nonetheless. So I thought that was something which we would definitely needs to be said, because with Warner Brothers, HBO Max, Warner Brothers plus Legendary, there was all of that nonsense with Legendary almost about to sue Warner Brothers because they just chucked a bunch of their movies on HBO Max. We don't know what happens when companies are shifting things around like this now, and a merger like this, again, is very, very big. But like I said here, so one source has said that a bunch of producers' attorneys have already spoken with MGM Business Affairs with respect to the acquisition itself, and they say, and I quote, "It would only be positive, apparently. The deals won't be disrupted." So this is all to do with things being released. Who's going to get the money? Is it going to replicate Warner Media, Warner Brothers, and HBO Max? Because that's the concern. That's the concern. So many people, so many money men, people in terms of in the industry that were promised things on the back end in their contracts. That's how most of these individuals make their money. They were absolutely screwed out by AT&T, Warner Brothers chucking stuff on HBO Max. So it's interesting that they are so sure. But I guess you could say, well, they've learned from other people's mistakes in that regard. Now, they say among the big features MGM has is, of course, Respect. They've got The Addams Family 2, No Time to Die, and then Ridley Scott, Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, House of Gucci, and then a Paul Thomas Anderson movie and Joe Wright's Cyrano. So those are already confirmed to be released in theatres, which is a surprise actually, in terms of them actually having quite so many. I didn't think they had that many, because obviously all eyes are on No Time to Die, and there is some interesting information with respect to that movie actually, very, very much. But this is the one that's the surprise. This is the interesting stuff. So Deadline, one of their long-time contributors, Dawn Chmielewski, over at Forbes, says that Amazon and MGM have been chatting as early as January. So the fact that we're hearing it now, in May, stakeholders, shareholders, they wanted to get a piece of the pie of Warner Media Discovery's merger. That took this world by storm. So they wanted a piece of that. They wanted to get some buzz. That's the timing is way, way, way too coincidental. Two big mergers in 1 week? No. It's all very, very staged, very theatrically staged in that regard. But they say separately, Deadline has now heard that there's been weeks of talks recently as well, including sales presentations. So they are very, very close to making a deal, more so than I think anyone actually thought of. And then I found this part very, very interesting. So obviously we know that they are remaining silent. They've actually made no public announcements on any of this. I don't think they will, because if either or of them says something that one could take negatively, or one could affect the stock price, because that's what it will all come down to. It will affect the buying and selling price of MGM at the end of the day. Things said in the media can affect stock prices, which is perfectly, that makes sense. That's fine. But they say this: MGM's biggest stakeholder, the hedge fund Anchorage Capital, Kevin Ulrich, is actually desperate to sell. They are desperate to sell this. Anchorage has a 10-year position in MGM's studio, which is unusually long, and has been creating friction with investors, including Highland Capital Partners, Davidson, Kempner Capital Management, Solus Alternative Asset Management, and Owl Creek Investments. And in 2016, apparently, which I wasn't aware of at the time, because a lot of people hear Amazon trying to buy MGM and they instantly go, "Oh, this is mega corporations becoming mega. MGM has been trying to sell, and they actually almost did in 2016. They almost sold it to Chinese suitors for 8 billion or 10 billion. But it was only Beijing's capital control policy which actually stopped that going through, which is a surprise, a massive surprise. So make no mistake, ladies and gents, this is a huge deal. Huge deal. And it was sort of eclipsed by Warner Media and Discovery. So I actually haven't done any videos on this, but then we had fantastic new information from Deadline. They've obviously spoken to more people. So I thought I'd do this quick video on it just to bring you guys up to speed. So what do you guys think of this? Do you have Amazon Prime? Do you think this will be beneficial? Again, everything this year that was slated for theatres will be released. Moving forwards, new distribution partners will have to be acquired, deals signed, things like that. But I think this is good. I think this is actually good for MGM in general. It's not like the Disney-Fox merger where I think that creativity will be stifled. Amazon actually has a pretty good rap on the productions that they do. They are reasonably good, minus some of the weird films they've acquired recently that are just utter tripe and absolute garbage. They're pretty decent. So I don't hate this as a concept moving forwards, and as someone who has Amazon Prime just for delivery, I think this could be positive for them as a streaming platform. But what do you guys think? Please do let me know down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. If you stayed this long, you clearly enjoyed the video, so please do hit that thumbs up button. You can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Reviews, and you can follow along on my second channel called Car Nonsense down below in the description box. But thank you all so much. Take care.